2D object?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a 2D object?
2D of
If I simply ask you, what is a 2D object? Is that 2D?
yes, ma'am.
What is it? Can you identify?
Cuboid. Sorry. Rectangle.
That's a square.
Ma'am, which slide, ma'am?
Second slide.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So what is
Square.
the... It's a square. Perfect. Now when I say that it's a square, do I say that it's an object? No. I have to
No,
say
ma'am.
it is a shape, right?
3-dimensional figures are objects.
Perfect. So that means when I say that I am going to talk of the third dimension, that means a depth given to the object, then it is a 3D, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So can you tell me that while you are reading this as a square, what are the two dimensions you are reading? One is length and another is width, which in this case is equal, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. And when I'm reading that for a 3D, I'm reading the third dimension, which may be the Z axis. So by and large, it's in the same manner. I am actually reading the X direction, the Y direction, and the Z direction. True?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Now let us answer one more question. Can you tell me what is a prism?
Prism, ma'am.
Yes. If I ask you what is a prism, can you answer the question? Have you seen a prism?
It is also a 3-dimensional figure. It's an object.
It's an object, that is true. Fine. What else?
And when we pass a beam of a light ray, then it makes the light ray.
Perfect. So you are actually relating it towards the science side, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now let me tell you that if I make a shape in front of you, can you answer me what is that?
Triangle.
That's a triangle. Very good. And if I ask you what is that?
Prism.
Prism. So do I understand that as soon as I asked you what is a prism, you related it to a triangular prism?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. What is the rule that you say it as a triangular prism? I mean, why this is a triangular prism? Because it has a property
Because
which
it
is
has triangular faces.
faces. Good. So is the object having a rectangular face as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Then why don't we call it as a rectangular prism? I'll tell you why. You have to notice that's actually a triangle here, right? When
Yes.
the triangle is stretched, I repeat, when the triangle is stretched in this manner such that the same triangle is reproduced at a regular equalized distance. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
That means a triangle is reproduced at a regular distance parallelly to it. What I achieve is not only a prism, I achieve it is a triangular prism actually.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So, now answer me one more question. You see a
Yes,
square now, right?
ma'am.
Okay. And the same way, I now stretch the square at the back. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the object?
Cuboid.
Perfectly fine. Do I get the same square at the back?
Ma'am, can we call it as square prism?
I am impressed. The question is actually supposed to be from my side. So I can say that it is well versed a square prism, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
This is what you are visualizing. First of all, we have to understand how beautifully or how with multiplicity can you visualize the object. Okay?
Okay.
Now let me have the second part of the question. You said, could it be a square prism, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Could it not be a rectangular prism as well?
No, ma'am.
Why?
And because we stretched the square with equivalent.
I say that if I stand towards this side, I have actually stretched and reproduced the rectangle even. Is it not?
Yes, ma'am.
It's just that I did not make it with that black outline for you. Otherwise, could I not say that even this is going to be beautifully a rectangular prism?
Yes, ma'am.
So which means if now I ask Arjun a question that a rectangular prism could be, okay, what would be
Yes.
the options?
Sir,
A rectangular prism could be,
a square prism and a cuboid.
look at the choices and then answer. My question says a rectangle.
Cuboid
Yes.
prism.
A rectangular prism could be a cuboid
Prism.
only, not a prism. Generally, with a prism, what did you relate?
Like a triangular.
Rectangular or
Triangle.
triangular. Perfect. So that means when I'm answering it for a rectangular prism, I have to mark the choice for cuboid. Unless, if instead of rectangular prism, I would have asked you the question, a square prism, then what is the answer?
Then even cube, ma'am.
So that means I have changed the question category from MCQ to MSQ, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That is the type of the questions we asked and worked up in the first session. How your question category could be deviated. Understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Let us go to the next category. See this. Now, up till now, you have answered for the triangular prism, square prism, and rectangular prism. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, if by the same logic, I now put to you another shape. What is it?
Oval.
Is that an oval or an ellipse?
Ellipse.
Ellipse. What's the difference?
Ma'am, I don't know what is the difference between oval and ellipse.
Oval has wider end on one side and narrow end on other side.
Okay.
Okay, but an ellipse will always have two axes of equalization,
Okay.
right? So, by the same rule, if I achieve such an object, what is it?
Cylinder.
Or should I say, is that prism of a circle or an ellipse?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So that means now you have actually a different way of answering the object. It not may be a mandate for you to identify this as a cylinder. It could be a prism of a circle or an ellipse. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Too good. Now let us answer it differently. Still again. See this. Now my question changes for you from what is a prism I asked before. Now my question is, what is a pyramid?
Pyramid, ma'am.
Yes, what is a pyramid to you? How would you explain me a pyramid? What is a pyramid?
Ma'am, it has 4 triangular faces
Right?
and 1 square face.
Perfect. Now see the humor that for years, whenever I ask a student a question that what is a prism, you always relate it with a triangle, and the moment the question gets to being a pyramid, suddenly everybody just naturally realizes that you have a square base, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What we have to understand here, it's all basically a visualization which has been freezed in your mind for years. Okay? Now look at one thing. What have I drawn now with the green color?
Triangle.
Triangle. And I have taken the edges from the corner. What is that now on the board?
Pyramid.
So shouldn't I be saying that this is a triangular pyramid
Yes, ma'am.
and this is a square pyramid?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Which means if now I conclude whenever you are dealing with a shape, it's just the magic of how do you stretch the shape. If this same square I am moving at the back and I am just reproducing the same square at a regulated distance, I'm actually talking of a square prism, which is commonly called a cube or a cuboid, depending upon the distance outstretched, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But the same square, if I just pulled up from all the corners and I rose it to a particular height only at the center, I am actually generating a pyramid out of a square. True?
Yes.
So
Yes.
ethically, the difference between a prism and a pyramid is only one, the way you stretch the base shape. Correct?
Okay.
So this way, now can you answer me, first of all, what is the other name to this? What do we call for a triangular pyramid? Is there any other name to this? Yes, there is. If and
Can we
only
call it a prism?
if, come again,
It is also a prism.
how a prism? A prism outstretches only at 90 degree to reproduce the same shape at a distance.
Okay.
I have to understand if the outstretched to a particular height is such that you are reproducing same kind of triangles. That's the base triangle, and you have 3 triangles elevated up till a top. This is being talked as, commonly you would have surely heard of this, tetrahedron.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, what are we talking as a tetrahedron? We are just talking of a
Triangular
triangular
pyramid.
pyramid. Correct. We are talking here, not as a prism, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So after the straight ones, let us come to the circular one. Can I repeat the same logic on the circular one?
Yes, ma'am.
So now when I raise from the end corners tangentially, what do I get?
Cone.
Perfectly fine. Now I get is a cone. Okay. So that completes how, firstly, at base level, differently can you visualize the objects, right?
Is this pyramid, ma'am?
What is a cone? It's a pyramid of a
Can we say
circle.
that it's a pyramid?
Please repeat, your voice broke away.
Ma'am, can we say that it's a pyramid?
Yes, that's a pyramid of what? It's a pyramid of
Circle.
circle. Perfectly fine. Now, this is where we actually complete how to differently visualize the same object. It's just a different way of visualizing the object. Okay.
Okay.